Season 3 started off last week, and it started with a bang. Not necessarily for the best reason. After beating our FCS opponent 10-3, we had our first feature game of the season in Happy Valley. And despite going off to an early lead, Penn State made quick work of us in this game, winning this one after a final score of 56-17. But this week, it's a big game because we have the James Madison Dukes on the schedule. Our first rivalry matchup here of the series. We finally face JMU. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of the new season and the new relaunch. We're coming off of a 1-in-1 episode, and this week with our rivalry on the docket, it should be more action, more good action here. Here's a look at what happened last episode. We beat LIU, who was the FCS opponent, 10-3 before losing to Penn State. And we did suffer an injury as well, which we didn't touch on. Khalil Ali, our star corner, is out with a partial MCL tear. So not only did we get shellacked against Penn State, we also are going to miss our best secondary player for the next 5 weeks. But we're going against JMU this week. They are 0-1. They lost back in week 0 to Maryland, 38-20 in a pretty respectable game. And this is a team not to take lightly. Quarterback Michael Van Buren's the second-year starter here for the Dukes, and he threw for a touchdown in their first game. And August Pendleton, their sophomore impact pass rusher, is somebody to watch out for on the edge. But let's get into the action here. First game of the season at the Tub that we will watch. Hope you guys are ready. If you enjoyed the last episode and you're ready for more action, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below for more hens on the way. As we are here in front of the home fans, year number 3 of the 2020 season in full effect. Our last non-conference game before we get into conference play. And of course, the first rivalry matchup here of the series. So you know you want to win this one. We'll get down to kickoff here as the own 35-yard line. Delaware will boot it away. And it will be James Madison who starts off first with the football. This will be returned from about the 1-yard line up to the 20. And we'll take a look at James Madison's offense, which has dominated this rivalry recently. The last time they played, it was a 22-10 victory for the Dukes. James Madison's actually lost the past 5 games. But we are 14-13 in this series, so a lot on the line here in terms of pride for the Blue Hens. First offensive play will be a quick pass out wide for Corton Starks, the Utah State transfer. Tackled down by Quincy Winston, our Boston College transfer. You'll notice JMU will go with the no-huddle offense here as they hand it off to Diego Torres for a gain of 5. He had 40 yards on 15 carries in the matchup against the Terps. 3rd and 4 now. Here's first throw for Van Buren. It's high, but what a snag by Starks. That was a very nonchalant one-handed grab and allows James Madison to get a first down. The drive will continue here out to the left side, and this one's broken up. Good job on the outside. Remember, no Ali in this game. And that drive would eventually come to an end as that'll bring out the Delaware offense led by quarterback Darryl Cole. Through first 2 games of the season, he's thrown for less than 50% completion. So a lot to prove here in this game against James Madison. But we'll start off on the ground. Browning had a great game against Penn State last week. We'll lean on him again here today, but on 2nd and 2, Cole's going to keep it himself, and the South Carolina transfer will get 10. Only 3 yards last week. Cole likes to run. We'll see if he can open it up this week against James Madison. But Browning, speaking of run, gets stuffed. That's Ben May in the backfield, the senior bringing down the halfback. Now a 3rd and 12. Cole forced to the air, dumps it off short, but McConaughey's not ready for it. And both teams will punt on their first possessions. Next drive here for the Dukes is an early 3rd and 5, and they want the deep ball down the left side, and this one is caught! What a grab down there by Cortland Starks. And just like that, James Madison set up nicely as they'll go no huddle, and that shows you how much we might miss Khalil Ali in this game. Good coverage, but I don't know if Ali gives that one up. After a gain of 9, it's now 2nd and 1. The foot's still on the gas pedal as here's Van Buren keeping it. And he can run as well. Inside the 10, brought down at the 8-yard line. And James Madison with the best scoring opportunity thus far today. Goal to go now. It's a handoff up the middle. Torres will only gain a few. 5 carries, 13 yards for the sophomore. Offset pistol here, 2nd down. They're going to keep it with Van Buren off tackle. And he will get out to the 1. Actually mark him down at the 2 on his 2nd carry for 7 yards. Big third down and goal here. What did the Dukes call up? They trust Van Buren on the ground, and he will break the plane. They say he got in for a touchdown. It was close. Michael Van Buren punches it in, and James Madison's on the board first. They lead this one 7-0. Well, Delaware will get a chance now with the football as we head up inside 9 minutes, as Maiden will be the kickoff return man. And Delaware, he's got a crease. Maiden down the left sideline, only one man to beat. He's tracked down from behind at the 32. Good return, though, sets Delaware up in good field position, but unfortunately they face a 3rd and 4 off of it. Here comes a heavy blitz. It's countered with a nice screen out to McConomy, and McConomy's got green grass. Good play call, gets him out to the 11 for a first down before driven out of bounds. He subs out here on first down. It's a handoff for Tyrone Browning. And Browning, the Texas State transfer, will walk in for a touchdown. Had a great debut last episode for the Hens. Follows it up with a touchdown here. And Delaware has tied this one up at 7 apiece. So both teams scoring on their next possession, going tit for tat here. But it's an early 3rd and 4 here for James Madison. And Van Buren will air the pass. So here's a chance for Delaware to take their first lead. They get it out to the 42 of James Madison. But on first down, Cole is sacked. Wanted to step up and run. Pocket quickly collapses and backs him up for a loss of 5. Goes back to the air on 2nd and 15. Lobs this one for Gash. And Larry Gash makes a heck of a grab. The true sophomore impact with a gain of 19 with a great grab. Expect him to take a huge jump this year in his sophomore campaign. On the ground, though, Brownie gets the carry. He's got speed, and he's down at the 1. They mark him just shy as the guard, Anthony Cassis, is hurt on the play. McConomy checks in here, 1st and goal. He's given the football, and he will not get it. He's stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal. They try McConomy again, but this time he's in untouched for the touchdown. And Delaware takes their first lead of the afternoon, 14-7. And that'll be the score after 1 frame of football. Exciting action here down at W. Raymond Fields. As you can see the stats for both teams, James Madison outpassing us, but we're doing a better job running the football. Both teams with an even 5.9 yards per play. Coming into the second quarter, here's Delaware with the football, 1st and 10. Cole outside the pocket, forced to scramble, and he'll do it successfully. He's out past the 50, down to the 38-yard line, as now the center, Deion Dotson, is hurt on the play. So a couple injuries early here for the Blue Hens. It's now 3rd and 2. It's a handoff to McConomy, and he will get it with ease. And here's another red zone trip for the Hens. 4 carries, 10 yards, and a touch for McConomy. RPO here. Gash is lit up. I saw the injury. I was scared it was Gash for a second, but instead it's Cassis again after a loss of 1. After a loss of 2, it's now 3rd and 13. Cole with the wheel route out to Browning, and he gets some space, but he's shy. And it looks like Delaware's going to go for it. 4th and 5. They keep the offense on the field. Is short for Gash, and he will not get it. They mark him shy of the first down marker. That's a turnover on downs. It was a close play. Delaware challenged, but they were unsuccessful, so they lose a timeout as well. Fortunately for us, it's 3rd and 2, and the defense gets a stop. Great tackle out there in the flat by the safety. And Delaware gets the football back. 1st and 10, nice out route. That one's caught. And you'll see Browning also line up in the slot. He's going to play running back and a little bit at the slot receiver this year. I'm excited to see how that goes. When he plays out in the slot, here's who's going to get majority of the carries. It's McConomy. That time he loses 5. Ben May with another impact play. They motion out McConomy here, 2nd and 15 with a swing pass, and he's got the blocks. He gets by the defender with a jump move before Malachi Murphy brings him down. It's goal to go again for the Hens. Bring a man in motion. It's Vitko. They hand it off for McConomy, but he's quickly swallowed up. Nice job by number 53, Pierre Miller, with his 2nd TFL. They'll try it again, 2nd and goal here from the 7. Cole to the air, looks over the linebacker and finds his man for a touchdown into the end zone, and Delaware extends their lead 21-7. James Madison needs an answer. Unfortunately for them, it's 3rd and 9, and there's nowhere to go as Chris Collette puts him down, and Van Buren will forced to punt the ball away again. 2 minutes now here left to go in the first half. It's just 21-7, and Cole up the seam and airmails the throw. He had his man open, but hit Patrick Miller right in the helmet. If he was paying attention, he could have had an interception. 2nd and 10 now. Cole in the offense goes back to the same play, as he just dumps it short for Vitko this time, and there will be a flag down. Looks like they're going to get the Southern Miss transfer. The right tackle, Earl Millard, with the holding call. Rough debut last week against Penn State. Gets called for another penalty here. It's now 2nd and 20. Cole with the keeper on the read option, though, finds some space, and he gains 10. And it's 3rd and 10, and Delaware will continue to try to drain some clock. Minute 15 left to go here in the first half. Cole steps up to run for it, and he will get the first down, sliding down to the 15. Now Delaware doesn't really have to worry about the clock. They will control the pace. Inside a minute we go. 5-man rush for the Dukes. Cole trying to find some space, but he's sacked. Can't find it. It's Jeremiah Scully with it, his first sack of the day. And we're at about the 30-second mark. 2nd and 15, short pass. This one's caught. And Delaware, they're kind of taking their time here. Inside 30 seconds. Now we're down to 10 seconds. It's a 3rd and 9, but Delaware, they've let the clock run down. As this one's incomplete on 3rd down. It's Miller again with a holding anyway. So that'll be the climb. That'll take us to the half. 24-7 your score, as Delaware would make the field goal to go into the intermission. And the Blue Hens, despite giving up the first 7 points, have bounced back with 24 unanswered on the back of Tyrone Browning, who's been very good again on the ground. 9 carries, 71 yards this week, and a touchdown, as well as the factor in the air. And because of that, Delaware has been able to hold on to a lead here and extend it up by 17. And they will also get the football to begin the second half. So let's get back down to the field here. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. It's a handoff from Economy up the middle, and he begins the 3rd quarter right where he left off in the 1st with a nice carry there. 9 carries, 25 yards, and a touchdown. Stays in here 1st and 10. Cole in the pocket, looks short. He's got Forney, the backup tight end, and he's got himself a first down. 2 catches, 16 yards for the tight end. That was a gain of 11. We're out past midfield. Play fake on 1st down. Cole wants the deep ball. They try it, and it's incomplete. Dean can't hold on. Nice effort, though. 2nd and 10 now. Trips to the left side. Cole goes back to the air, and he looks for that way, and he finds Larry Gash, trying to get him going here. 4 for 37 for the sophomores on 1st and 10. Now they want to screen to Browning, and it's not going to work. That's a loss of 6. Pierre Miller all over that one. It's his 3rd tackle for a loss today. Next play, they motion in Dean. It's a fake handoff, and Cole is going to be sacked. That doesn't fool August Pendleton around the edge for his first sack of the day. The impact sophomore would essentially end the drive, as this will go back to James Madison, as that one's somehow not intercepted into the hands of Cortland Starks, who's had a busy day. 1st and 10 now. Heavy pressure in the pocket, and it's a sack through. That's Eamon Smalls, the former James Madison Duke, who transferred in the offseason. Had a great game against Penn State. Gets another sack here today. 2nd and 16 now. Van Buren, a wide open man downfield. This one's caught with a huge catch and run to the 23-yard line. One of the biggest plays of the day for James Madison. And they'll now get into deep Delaware territory, and it's a delayed give as Torres cuts it off tackle. One of his better runs of the day. He picks up 7. This is the best the James Madison offense has looked since the first drive of the game. 2nd and 3 now as Van Buren will back up, and this one's dropped. Flat-out drop on that play. As Van Buren, other than that, it's looked pretty good today. A 3rd and 3 now, though. They trust the halfback Torres, and he will not get there. Shy after a gain of 1. It's now 4th and 2. James Madison will keep the offense on the field. Big 4th down here. Delaware sells out on the run, and they are right. Chris Collette right up the gut. Forces the stop. That's a turnover on downs. Delaware still up by 17. They'll push this one out to about midfield as here's a carry to Oliver Red, who will continue to get some touches. His first carry of the game goes for 12. Now out to the 37. Cole drops back to throw. Outside the pocket, there's a flag down as he will get around the edge, though, and pick up a first. Just unfortunately, this one will not count as there's an injured Delaware Blue Hen in Tenard Luck. And, well, he was also the culprit on the play. So, just a bad play all around for the left guard. 3rd and 11 now. Cole back to the air. Feels some pressure. He's chased and just dumps it out of bounds. Lives to find another day. And that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter as Delaware leads this one at 24-7. As this one's starting to look like a rout with 1 quarter to go. Both wide receivers have been good for their teams, but it's the Blue Hens with the early lead. Into the fourth quarter we go now here as we're at the 15 of Delaware. James Madison with the football. It's a carry off tackle, and Torres gets some space, and he will find the end zone. So a good start to the fourth quarter for James Madison. That's a touchdown for Torres, his first of the season. And it's now 24-14, making it look a little bit more respectable. Next drive for Delaware, it's a 3rd and 11, and that'll be a 3-and-out force. So, okay, maybe James Madison's not out of this one yet, but still plenty of work to do. At the 40 now, it's a blitzer up the middle. Chris Collette doesn't bring down the quarterback. Well, now he does. I guess he gets credit for that one. Kind of just looked like Van Buren tripped. 3rd and 17 now, trying to spread out to the defense is James Madison as they go with the screen for Torres, and he will not get there. And that'll be a punt forced by the defense. Next drive for James Madison, it's a 3rd and 1. This time they will connect, and this one will be a huge conversion as it's inside the 10, out at the 6. And James Madison's got a goal-to-go opportunity now. Next play, they hand it off to Torres up the middle, and he will get down to the 1. 2nd and goal now. 18 carries, 91 yards for the sophomore. They trust him again here on 2nd and goal as they motion the man to the left side. They do give it to Torres, and he will not get there. Stuffed at the half-yard line. And the defense come up with one more huge play. Goal line versus goal line, and it's a QB sneak, and Van Buren will punch it in for a touchdown. Believe it or not, James Madison's only down by 7. 3, actually. Well, tell me they're going to do this. 1st and 10 carry here for Delaware, and this one is a gain of 9. 2nd and 1 as they're inside 5 minutes. The offense needs to end this game now, or it's going to get a little scary. Play fake on 2nd down. Cole doesn't like what he sees. He just tucks it and runs with an awkward fall forward. Out past midfield. This is one of the better Delaware drives we've seen recently. It's all 1st and 10. Red up the middle with a nice first down before he's quickly put down by the safety Patrick Miller. Out to the 31 now. We're inside 3 minutes. Handoff for Browning. He's stuffed up the gut. Ben May as Marquise Bolin now hurt on the play. And now it's a 2nd and 12 for Delaware. They go back to the air here, not trying to run some clock. And Cole is sacked from behind. Brought down by Ben May, who's had a heck of a game. James Madison will burn their first time out. It's now a 3rd and 21 as well. Delaware, they want to try to throw it and get into field goal range. They will not even get close as the scramble doesn't work. And there's another flag on Earl Miller, who has really struggled at the right guard spot. James Madison will decline the penalty. And look at the football back here, only down by 3. They're at their own 13, though. They got to do something here. As it's a handoff and a nice tackle. And Diego Torres shaken up on the tackle, frustrated as well. 2nd and 12 now from their own 11. Michael Van Buren in the backfield, forced to go for it, the pass, as he lets this one up the middle. It's caught, and behind the defense, Gabe Setterstum. He's looking to outrun everybody, and he will. 89-yard touchdown, and James Madison has the lead. 24-7 they were down coming into this quarter. Now they lead 28-24. And we have to do a 2-minute drill for the win. And it doesn't start off pretty. Loss of 2. DJ Cotton Jr. in the backfield. 3rd and 11 now. Cole to the air. Looks. Has Vitko for a nice gain. And he gets out to about midfield. Delaware does have all 3 of their timeouts. But you got to get a touchdown. Field goal doesn't do you anything. 1st and 10. Drag route for Browning. Nice first down. And this is where we see if Cole, what he's made of. So far he's looked good. But now you're inside a minute. Back to the air, steps up, looks to run, and he will shed a couple of tackles. That's a big first down. It temporarily stops the clock. Coles ran it 18 times today for 65 yards, and that was one of his best runs there. Inside 40 seconds, they trust the ground game, and Red will get 8. And Delaware will burn timeout number 1. Now they have 34 seconds. Bring a man in motion, going to the air. Cole looking, checks it down for Red, and he will get inside the 10. We're inside 30 seconds. Offense picks up the pace. Coming down on 20 seconds now. This game coming down to the wire. They try to set up a screen, but it's incomplete. The clock does stop. It was Ben May again with the pressure. 2nd and goal now. Cole looks, fires short. Scott Browning, he's going to get it to the 1, and Delaware will use their 2nd timeout. 3rd and goal now with 15 seconds. Cole to the air, quick hitter, and it's caught! Touchdown, Delaware! Tyquan Kennedy with the biggest grab of his career, and Delaware leads this one 31-24. to 28 with 9 seconds. Now James Madison on the back foot. Maybe 1 to 2 plays as this one's short. It's caught, but it's in bounds, and James Madison will burn a timeout with 3 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the game, and it will look to be a Hail Mary. Not sure how far Van Buren can get it down there, but he will try. 2nd and 6, fires it towards the sideline. It's caught, but he's out of bounds, and this game will end. Delaware wins it 31 to 28 in an exciting game that had no business being this exciting. Well, we got the rivalry win. Wasn't how we hoped it was down the stretch, but got to give Daryl Cole his props as well. On the back foot, losing in the 2-minute drill, his first chance to really prove that he deserves to be the starter, and he delivers. Yes, he was sub 50% his first 2 games as a starter, but this game really helps you beat your rival in the 5-game losing streak against the Dukes and win 31 to 28 for your first FBS win of the season. Cole gets player of the game, well deserved, but how about this game? My goodness, were we winning, losing, and then winning? My emotions went through the entire cycle there in the 4th quarter. But we're able to get the dub, and we'll see James Madison again next season at their place. And I'm excited for that one in the next year. If it's anything like this one, this should be a rivalry that's a staple going forward. Other top stories, you can see how the Heisman race is playing out. Austin Simmons of Ole Miss leads the way. We see Alabama beat Ohio State, decide a big game out of A.K. Deer in the backfield. Tennessee, South Carolina, huge matchup between 2 top 10 SEC schools this week. Go Gamecocks. And then Georgia knocks off Texas. Landon rolled in with a huge game. Other scores in Week 3, West Virginia hands Oklahoma State their first loss of the season, a close one. And also on Thursday, USC puts up 62 on Illinois. 62-3 to be specific. Oregon wins the rivalry against Oregon State. Then we get to Saturday where Cincinnati starts off on the road with a victory over Boston College. Boise State knocks off Marshall, and Kansas takes care of Louisiana Tech. Alabama beats Ohio State 30-24. That was a big game. It's not the game of the week somehow. North Carolina escapes UConn 42-38. Georgia State doubles up UAB this week. Michigan beats Eastern Michigan 31-13. Texas A&M gets their first win of the season against New Mexico. Auburn takes care of Mississippi State. They start 3-0. LSU dominates Rutgers on the road. Stanford goes across the country and picks up an ACC victory against Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech will then dominate Virginia. South Carolina, for their big game against Tennessee, wins the Battle of Columbia over Missouri 35-21. Wisconsin beats Penn State. The Nittany Lions go down to the Badgers. Wake Forest beats Tulane by a touchdown. Texas Tech over NC State 35-27. Washington wins the Apple Cup over Washington State 40-13. Baylor with a close victory over Arizona. Oklahoma will then take care of Tennessee, and they got to bounce back this week against the Gamecocks. Not these Gamecocks, though. Jacksonville State gets a victory over Kennesaw State, proving that they look like the top team in the conference once more. Florida, the defending champs, puts up 55 on Bowling Green. Navy knocks off UTSA. Clemson goes out and beats Utah 28-14. UCLA over Iowa. The Bruins now a top 5 team. North Texas knocks off Wyoming. The game of the week was the Texas-Georgia game, and Georgia continues to prove that they are the best team in the country. 52 on the Longhorns. Duke with a nice victory over Tulsa. Colorado knocks off Northern Illinois. We see Louisiana upset Central Florida 26-9. Big loss there for the Knights. South Alabama over Middle Tennessee. Liberty beats Coastal Carolina, their rivals. Southern Miss, who we saw in the bowl game last year, beats Memphis 38-30. Louisiana Monroe over ODU. Michigan State beats Notre Dame. It has not been a good start for the Fighting Irish. 35-14 is the score. Arkansas with a close one over Toledo. Houston beats Iowa State. Arizona State hangs up 52 on BYU, and Hawaii knocks off Texas State. Players of the week: Colin Gill of Penn State with a forced fumble and 2 fumble recoveries, while Eli Morakos of Texas A&M had a big game with 6 total touchdowns. Conference USA players of the week are Rodney Youssef of Jacksonville State and Anthony Carey of FIU. Here's a look at the rankings. A couple of teams breaking up the SEC party at the top. UCLA up to 5 and Clemson up to 7 as Tennessee falls from 2 to 8. And we see Ohio State, Texas also go down with LSU joining the rankings this week. As far as the big games going into week number 4, we'll see South Carolina, Tennessee. Georgia's tough start continues. They got to play host to Ole Miss now as conference play ramps up. LSU will host the defending champion Florida Gators, and in the ACC, it's ranked versus ranked Duke. The runners-up from last year will play host to the Louisville Cardinal. Speaking of conference games, we'll start conference play next episode as we head on the road to face the 2-1 Liberty Flames. We beat them last year, but we'd love to get conference play off to a good start this season. We really, in my opinion, have a team that can challenge for the Conference USA title, but in order to do that, you got to start off 1-0 and take care of the teams that you should beat, and quite honestly, we should beat the Flames this season. But we'll see that in the next episode, get into conference play, as what an end to this game. I mean, I still can't believe we saw such a good game to begin the early portion of the season. But thank you guys so much for the support. If you're loving the new look of the series, make sure you drop a like, and make sure you're subbed as well so you don't miss any of the content, including the next episode, which will be going in the next couple of days. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.